I'm serious when I tell you that ableism is a real problem. It's also discriminative. This is a discriminative practice. I went on this website to sign up for my appointment today to donate plasma to make ends meet. You get a few little dollars here, yeah? To put gas in my car so I can continue going to the doctor, right? Because there's no other help out here. These services that everybody thinks that there is out here, they're not. I came here today because my food stamps were cut off. I had just gotten them, I think October the 3rd, then I had to wait for the card to get in the mail about the 15th or the 18th, and then the government shut itself down, so that then also caused a conflict for me as well, because they weren't in the office to say that they needed some other actually form of proof that my GoFundMe, I don't have some kind of mass amounts of money in it, which I don't. And I had already given them the information because it's attached to my bank account. And the food stamp people wanted me to write a letter, to actually get a letter from the GoFundMe people saying that I didn't have any other bank accounts. And I was like, that's impossible. You're asking me something I can't even do. So they told me to reapply, even though they told me that I could have appealed it and just given them the paperwork that they needed when they mailed me the letter, except they didn't mail me the letter. And that's what the food stamp person told me. That's what she told me. So I came here to give plasma, and the same thing. I went on the website. I looked at all the policies. It does not say that a person like me would ever be excluded. I'm not on any medications, really, other than, ibuprofen, those sorts of things. It says don't take those things for 24 hours, so I didn't. I'm not on any other, I don't drink, I don't drug, I don't do anything else. Other than the fact that I can't really sit or stand for very long, and I walk, with a cane now, because I can't feel my foot. There's not a problem. There shouldn't be an issue from what their website says in their policies there. They pulled me to the back, and they pulled me to the back to ask me additional questions because I'm not an able-bodied person. That's what they said. They asked me the date of the accident. So I told them the date of the accident. She goes, well, you have to wait at least 330 days after a spinal cord injury before we can take plasma. And I said, so I was just like, I got very discouraged, and I was just like, this is ridiculous. I came here, I spent my time. It doesn't, nothing of this says any of this on your website. And then as I was walking out, I thought, wait, it's been well over 330 days. It's been 552 days, as a matter of fact. And I even looked it up on my phone. I was like, I walked back out. I said, ma'am, I'm sorry, but you told me it had to be a minimum of 330 days, but my accident happened in 2024. And she goes, well, I heard 2025. So now what we can do is we can get your doctor to sign off on the date of your accident, to ask my doctor the same question. So I had to call my doctor's office, and I said, where can we fax this information so we can get this paperwork done for them? Well, my doctor's not in. But here's the thing. I looked at the questionnaire, and it literally is the same questions. Have you had surgery? No, I haven't had any surgery. And then she said something like, I had to be released. I had to give a full release to give plasma. I've never heard of that before. And I said, can you tell me where your policy is that said that? Because right now I'm really thinking this is a discriminatory process. And now I think we have a discrimination incident going on here. Because nowhere in anywhere, I even looked this up, there's no reason why I couldn't donate today. I did all the right things. So she tells me, she's like, what do you want to do? Call the police now? And I looked at her, I was just like, you do realize I'm a human rights activist, right? Like, this violates human rights, the disability, the disabled person's human rights. This is a civil issue right now. Like, you're literally violating, you're discriminated against me. This is a discriminative practice. And you're literally trying to tell me, do I want to call the cops? I was like, don't you understand? This is what's happening in America. Where a person, like, you have to wait a ridiculous amount of time. They turn off your benefits, wanting things that nobody can provide. And they do not give you a letter so that you can appeal their decision, just so that you can get through. I can't work like this. They won't even let me donate blood. For her to have said that to me, You want to call the police now? I'm not a Karen. If this is happening to me, if I walk through your whole website, I was able to set an appointment. I was able to come in here. I had to give you all this information. I gave you all of my personal information to this company. And they pull me aside. She goes, well, because I heard the wrong date, I need to have your doctor do it. So I said, can we get a manager in here? Because all you have to do is correct the date. I wouldn't lie about the date I got it, in trouble. She goes, oh, well, you can give me a paperwork or something. I have all this right here. I said, here's the form for when my disability was filed. Well, now we have to have the doctor do it. This is discrimination. This is what's happening to people who are in this process that are having to wait a ridiculous amount of time to just get the things that we need to survive. I needed to be able to do this little program here. It's as if every system that my tax money that I've been pouring into this fucking country, it's not available. And when I just try to even come here, I'm trying to literally sell my plasma to help people, which also gives me a tiny bit of money to get by. But instead, once again, I mean, I didn't lose my cool. I was cool, calm, and collect. I was just like, I don't understand what's going on. Where's your policy? And she goes, well, here, you can go onto the website. And she's scrolling through and she can't even find it. Because what's happened here is discrimination. This is ableism. This is what the homophobia is causing in this country as well. This is just another layer of suffering, of needless suffering. I've done nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong. But I can't even just help. This is too much for one person to go through. It really is. It's too much.